Hey there guys! In this video I want to talk about some of my thoughts about the Expedition League and the current state of the league, plus how my league start was, how's the build going, how you should adapt your build early league on, because of the changes I noticed during leveling. And well, let's start about one thing that I like about the league, and this is logbooks. And to explain my big issue with logbooks and what I really don't like about them and about the whole league mechanic itself, I'm here on a map to show you. And I had like, I don't know, 7 records already where I tried to explain my point, why I hate it or what I don't like about it. And now I finally got it. I've got it correct. So yeah, there are some aspects other streamers already talked about. Those are the aspects of the remnants. So the problem with remnants is that they are giving, or some of them, giving them immunity to elemental damage. Like here, monsters are immune to physical damage. That means you won't deal any damage to monsters if you explode this remnant with your physical damage build. And you won't be able to get the loot from that chest or from the chests around that remnant. So, and if you're doing logbooks, this can become quite obnoxious because there are so many remnants giving immunity and with good loot spots. So it's just really fucked up. And I think to really clear logbooks or do logbooks, you need to be a group. One with physical damage, one with chaos dot damage, and 2 other guys dealing random elemental damage, like fire lightning, like we do, or like only lightning and one with fire, so you can, yeah, you will always be damaging the monsters, because this is just a really fucked up. I don't know why it's in the game. Make the monsters more resistant to those to the modifiers like cold damage, physical damage, etc. But never make monsters immune to any source of damage. It's becoming so hard to clear the content, or you won't be able to do the content. If you roll a remnant with like, I don't know, or a logbook with like, from 20 remnants there are 10 immune to physical damage, then you're totally fucked up and cannot loot anything, probably out of the logbook. So it's just pure trash how the system works. Immune to XXX damage is always a bad thing. It's bad in Diablo and it's bad in PoE. You can't just say I'm a dot build or I'm just a chaos damage build and now I have to scale up lightning damage as well only to clear this content. That doesn't work. This doesn't work, especially with all those damage nerfs. And I'm fine with those damage nerfs, by the way. I appreciated the damage nerfs to make the game more challenging. That's perfect. Sorry, Jose. But yeah, this is something I really don't like. And my other really big point I don't like about this logbook mechanic, I can only show you on a normal map. In normal maps, this is fine, but in logbooks, this is obnoxious as fuck. So let's say you have like 20 explosive charges, okay? And those remnants here on the map, those points here, are showing you spots of currency loot. And you want those currency loot. You want to place your explosive charges on the currency markers, right? So you place this one here, then go here, grab like, I don't know, this one, grab this one, and you want to go into a loop where you can grab all those currency nodes. So you're placing your route, and at the end you're recognizing, oh, I got like 1 explosive left, or I got like 5 explosive left from my 20 explosive charges. And then you think, okay, now I'm finally able, or I'm also able, to grab those spots over here. And the problem is, with placing these explosive charges, you can only place them near to the detonator or near to your last placed remnant. On logbooks at least. So, well, it has near, just you have a little bit of range. As you can see, I can't go over there where I already placed one. So I can only go in this range here. And that's fine. But I don't like it. Well, it's not fine, I just hate it. Because now this one is connected, right? So I have an explosive charge here, and I would have the range to go from here over there. But I can't because it's not the last placed explosion charge. And if you plan out your route, then you have to redo everything. You have to go back and say, okay, I have more explosive charges left than I thought. Now I can grab like this route over here. Because how shall you know at the beginning of doing your explosive route? How shall you know, right? You can't know. So you have to try it out, and then you have to redo everything for the chests that you really want. Because I don't want the fucking essence chests. I don't want the fucking gem chests. After nerfing 21, 23 gems and enlighten 4, enlighten 3 drops and power 3 and 4 drops, I don't care about having gem loot anymore. Either in Delve, on blighted maps, or here. I don't care. There's no really mega hype gem that I can get out of it. Yeah, maybe there's a 2120 gem that's kinda good, but I don't want it. I would rather take normal currency, blighted, and not, yeah, I think there are blight modifiers, right, on logbooks. Breach. I would rather take a breach than a gem reward. And so on. Because it's not worth the time. And go backtracking and delete your whole placement system only to get the chest over here feels very, very bad. And then know why it's there, because they sequence the explosives on the numbers you place them. So it's always explosive number 1, then explode number 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Okay. But there could be an AI that just explode the route where you started and then explode all the chests that are close to it as the next route automatically. If you have backtracking. Because maybe you recognize, okay, I have like 3 charges left. Now I want to go into here and see if there's a secret. If there are secret loot spots. So I really would appreciate having a better AI or a better sequence of explosions and how I can place my bombs or explosive charges. Because it's just really fucking annoying to backtrack and redo everything again. If you're doing like, I don't know, 20 logbooks, it's become quite obnoxious. Okay? I really don't like it. But it's just my point of view from Expedition. What I also don't like is, if I, on a normal map, if I explode this everything like here, in logbooks, you still see where your loot boxes are. Here, I don't fucking know where my loot boxes are on my minimap. I can't tell. I don't know how many of those chests I missed because I was thinking, that's some fucking trash random magic loot on my map. It's so small, it's very small to read here. And I think, okay, this shit is just like, I don't know, a fucking magic random chest piece that's popping out of my loot filter. Like this fucking carnal armor if I press Alt. What the fuck? I don't like it. It's way too small. I forgot to just open those chests. And by the way, the next thing I don't like about Expedition, this feels terrible. I don't know. Doing this leak mechanic, and I know the loot is kinda bugged or something like that. And they may be working on it. But guys, how bad does it feel to make your leak mechanic click on your chest and nothing drops? Okay, I got some armor pieces right here. And yes, I'm on a low level map. I know. But there are sometimes chests where nothing is in it. Not even a rare armor, or your loot filter will say, hey, that's probably worth to take a look on, right? It feels so horrible. And there's another big issue, or not big issue, what I don't like about Expedition, and that's other dealers. So, I don't know. At the league start, maybe Gavin was okay, just the, I think she's called Gavin, the gambler, the item gambler, which gives you unique items, if you're lucky. I think this was okay for a league start and very good value for league start to getting early uniques, level uniques, and maybe it's also good for hardcore, where you can't trade, or for solo self found. Yeah, for solo self found, I think it's kinda good to get some chances to get your items, right, with gambling. But on trade league, I don't know. I won't do her anytime soon. I'm just taking all her currency I get and just exchange it. Because there is no point for me. So, let's clear this one. Yeah. Why I should keep my time wasting with gambling items? I don't know. There is no point of doing this. Right? Yeah, maybe you can get a headhunter, lol. Yeah, maybe you're one out of the 20 guides, but re-rolling this and buying this and getting... It feels bad. There's nothing good about this. If you're already at late game maps and can farm stuff, she becomes more and more useless how further you get on your map device. Or if you have your startup gear ready. She's useless. I have nothing to do with her. There's no item I want to gamble about. Yeah, let's talk about the prophecy one. Oh, Sedge. It's not a void battery. Useless. I mean, I get it. It could be nice, but she has no value anymore or later into the game. Then Scald. Yeah, also the problems, the league mechanic doesn't drop anything, right? I just said. They also drop an insane less amount of artifacts or of the reroll types. I can't reroll this guy and grab something. He's actually kind of good because he's just giving me logbooks. Rock the dealer. Yeah, I think he will be good. I think he's okay. If you have high item level. If I'm level 86 and he gives me item level 86 items and I can roll on them, then he should be fine. Or it's a fine gamble, but I think it's not worth the time doing him, but he's okay. And the best of all is just Haggler. Just grab all your currency you get and exchange it to Haggle currency. Guys, it's just... Haggle is the best one. You can grab an X out of there or any other currency that's probably more worth than Grenin. Getting something out that's worth from Grenin is like, I don't know. Haggler is just better. Okay? But yeah. That's about about Expedition League mechanic. This is actually kind of good. Nice. Well, so far about all the changes from the for the league. So for leveling, yeah. So starting the game, thanks to my guild members, I had a very smooth start. They gave me like 20 chaos at the beginning for the whole acts, so I can spend some money and get some basic starter gear I can play the game with. So I had a smooth start, but I must say, according to the build, there is one big change I would make. Your first lap should be unstoppable. Holy shit. I mean, I got Wanderlusts, I dropped them myself at the start, so I was very lucky already, because most people forgot that Wanderlusts will give you anti-freeze, so that you cannot be frozen. But, guys, we have two choices. First we go undeniable and get some attack speed in and get some damage, right? Or we just go with fucking unstoppable And I think Unstoppable should be, at the moment, your first lab choice. Because, or get just Unwavering Stance. Because my problem as a melee, it's so retarded. And besides the damage that Goatmans and other minions gonna deal to you, that feels horrible and trash, or it feels really hard. I get it. It makes the game very hard. There's one big issue I have playing a melee at the current state in the early league, and this is stun. Holy shit, I died so many times because of stun lock. I was totally rest capped. All the acts, I was also rest capped at, I don't know, I was already rest capped at in Act 3. So I don't get it. Why? Sorry for my bloopers, because I'm just a little bit excited and obnoxious. The minions deal so much damage now that you will get stun locked so easily. Besides getting chilled or frozen, if you're not have chilled is also kind of obnoxious early on, because also the fucking flask only going for 1 second, give you 1 second immunity. What the fuck, GGG. But finally they changed it. But hey, let's talk about a stun. Yeah, get a stun immune flask also helps. Yeah, I'm a melee. I have to jump into the mob pack to deal damage, right? So I jump into the mob pack. The mob attacks me first because I jumped into it and I didn't stun them with my leap slam. And the first mob attacks me, the second mob attacks me, and I'm stun locked. And I'm really hard stun locked there. Sorry for the short break. My dad just called me and didn't accept that I didn't want to talk with him at the moment because I'm just taking a video. Or I'm recording a video. Yeah. So yeah, that was my rant about getting stunned. Yeah. So yeah, jumping into a mob pack, getting a lot of damage in, and you're getting stunned feels horrible as a melee. It's super bad at the current state, so you have to get Unwavering Stance or Chaos Roots Boots later onto the game. And I don't know why Chaos Roots Boots are just like 1 Chaos. They are just so good. They are just so good at the current state of the game. Because we don't play with castman damage taking setups probably anymore because they're just way too expensive. Fuck castman damage taking setups, just play Calm Roots Boots and be fine. But yeah. Getting stunned feels horrible as a melee, especially early levelings. Like, I don't know, I was playing in like Act 1, I got to the submerged passage and then to the ledge. And especially at the climb, where the Goldmans comes, and you will get perma stunned. And you may be about level 10, and let's see. You're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As a Marauder, you will take at least level 7 to get Unwavering Stance. As a Templar, or maybe you're just playing a Duelist for Gladiator, etc., it takes you so long to get to Unwavering Stance. Or getting a stun immunity flask. Or anything. You dash into this fucking mob pack and you get stunned as a fucking melee. It hurts so much. It's so hard to survive the stun locks later on as well. So I would really recommend going Unstoppable with Molten Strike, or for any other build, just try to rush Unwavering Stance or get a stun immunity flask ready for early leveling. It's so fucking obnoxious if you're a melee. I really hate this change. It made sometimes of the leveling campaigns I just feel the game is unplayable with the stun lock. It really frustrated me a lot. Okay, but yeah, that's about getting stunned, right? And like I said, about the change with going Unstoppable and Unwavering Stance. So much rants, right, this league. So, let's talk about another bullshit. Like, a really motherfucking bullshit. I'm thinking, cast my damage taken, Wave of Conviction, 26 mana is fine as a trigger for this build, but cast my damage taken, summon Ice Golem, 130 mana. What the fuck, GGG? This is dead. Cast my damage taken, Golem is dead. Right on the spot. It doesn't work. Sorry, but it doesn't work. Not for the most of the builds where they reserve a lot of mana, and we also gonna reserve kind of a lot of mana. If you're taking 2 auras or 3 auras, you can't just go with custom damage taken Golem. And I know maybe GGG didn't like that, but your Golem's dying a lot, okay? Just getting this little buff for any player besides Elementalist, getting just a normal little buff for your build doesn't seem worth it. Because I don't want to cast my Golem every time, every map, like every, I don't know, 3 mob packs where he jumps in and dies. I don't want to go with summon Golem with elemental army support, or where you just go get defense modifiers with resistance and stuff like that, or just play passive. I don't want to play it. I don't want to waste a gem link for my Golem. Also another gem link for my Golem. I don't like it. Cast my damage taken, Golem is dead. It doesn't work. And if you look at our Immortal Call cast my damage taken setup, it's 87 mana. It's just way too high. The mana multiplier for cast my damage taken is just way too high. Maybe we can invest in, or we go into tireless and get reduced cost of skills, but then it still is too high. And I was thinking about, hey, let's go with life tap support cast by damage taken, so it drains life. But I think it was here. Yeah, if you go with cast by damage taken life tap support, well, let's look at our Golem. It's 390 life. That's a fucking lot. I mean, if you go with cast by damage taken and we have so many leech and on-hit effects, it shouldn't really matter getting those damage in, but this is a lot of damage. This is a fucking lot of damage for triggering Immortal Call and your Ice Golem. So I don't know how I feel about this change. The Wave of Conviction custom damage taken setup is fine. It just doesn't drain that lot of mana. And we can also go Arcanist Brand for doing that as well. So it's just fine. It's fine. Okay, it doesn't matter. Or just cast Wave of Conviction yourself when you need it. Okay, because casting yourself isn't that well. You won't do it on maps anymore because you won't run around leap slamming, casting your Arcanist Brand or Wave of Conviction and then attack them. And probably Wave of Conviction in late game, it doesn't matter anymore because the pen isn't that worth. But Golem is a big damage modifier or damage multiplier for accuracy stacking. So it's a really pain in the ass that it costs so much mana in cast by damage taken setups, and I really don't like this change. I get it, I get a point, and I would say yes, cast by damage taken should drain mana. It's fine, but it shouldn't have to be a 250 mana multiplier. So it's just unplayable. So cast by damage taken is just really unplayable. It's just way too hard to fit those, to reduce the mana costs of the skill and have enough mana left after reserving auras. So I don't like it. The drain from the curse is like 26 mana from Assassin's Mark. It's also fine. And this is why we can't play with Empower support. And yeah. Without playing Empower support, we can just go with the low cast by damage taken setup modifiers and going with the drain from Assassin's Mark. That's fine. Okay, that's fairly easy. Yeah, talking about Flask Changes. Yes. I think the Flask Changes was needed. Flask was very powerful, but they overtuned it again. They just overdid it. So if you look at, I know why this Flask max roll is only worth like 4 chaos. It's shit. This Flask is so bad. Nerfing the damage is fine, or just only nerfing the charges is fine, but look at this shitty Flask. What is this shit? It lasts for 4.5 seconds and it consumes 35 charges. So I'm standing here on the boss, I use my Flask once and it's gone. And my damage multiplier is like, I don't know, 4k tooltip DPS. Heh? This Flask is worthless. On maps, okay. On bosses, just forget it. Just you can only use it once. So without investing into flash charge gains or increased effect and increased durations on the skill tree, just like take careful conservationist. Increased flash charges gained if you deal a critical strike recently. Yes, take this one. Seems to be okay. You just need to invest a lot on flash charges like precision or the belt modifier with a flash charge on crit to sustain those flasks. Like even Dying Sun for Molten Strikes is terrible without flash charge sustain. I don't know. And Cinder Swallow one, by the way, I think is fine, but why I should play a fucking Diamond Flask when I can take a crit crafted Onslaught Cinder Swallow on Flask? It's just better than this Flask. The difference isn't that high anymore, or just to any other Flask with a crit craft on it. Right? Fuck this. Diamond Flask and Sulfur Flask are just dead by itself. And Utility Flask, I don't know, Basal Flask nerfed and so on. I don't know. I think, yes, the Flask charges should be nerfed. Some of the damage modifiers probably should be nerfed, but not like this. This is just a little bit overtuned of everything. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know how shall I feel about this league. The numbers on Steam just telling that the league is dead, or kinda dead. They lost so many players on Steam. Like, I don't know, more than the half players from Steam are already gone. Selling items just feels horrible because no one's gonna buy them. Because there are no player base, and the actual player base, you don't have items for it. So it's like back into where we have only Aura Stacker alive and you only can sell Aura Stacker items. It's just bad. GGG just overdid it. I mean, yes, making the game harder, I appreciate it because it was too easy. But nerfing mana multipliers and kinda revert them, okay. Because my Molten Strike was costing about 59 mana. On leveling, I just pressed 2 times Molten Strike and I was Then I pressed my fucking small mana flask because I was low level. I barely get mana back and I barely get flash charges back. I was fucking all of the time. What the fuck? So, didn't you have beta tested? Didn't you have played your game yourself and see that the mana changes was so terrible at the beginning to play? I mean, now they are kind of fixed. Hey, my Molten Strike only costs 29 mana at the moment. That's good. That's fine. I can live with that because this just means a minus mana cost chest and 2 minus mana cost rings. I will take it. Grandly. Thank you. But yeah. Mana multiplier changes, damage nerfs, flash charge nerfs, more damage to the minions, getting more stunned by leveling, permanently frozen and chilled feels so bad because you only get 1 second immunity to freeze and chill from your flask. It was too crazy. And I know why people just quit the game already. I can understand it. That they don't want to play a game where they get perma-frozen on the map. Right? Because only 1 second immunity means, hey, my flask goes for like 4 seconds and I only get 1 second immunity. Thanks. A lot. I mean, now it's changed. Now it's back to 4 seconds at least. But hey, that won't bring the players back. Also, your fucking league mechanic doesn't drop any good loot. Nice, GGG. I don't know. Having a league mechanic that feels bad when you open a chest and don't drop any loot and barely drop any rewards or any other currency out of the league mechanic feels trash and terrible. It feels so horrible to click on, just wasting like, I don't know, 5 minutes to make an explosive route and kill everything, and then you just get like 10 artifacts. Pog. Loot. I know why people spamming heist for not only for money, because it's just one of the only good early league mechanics left, right? Yeah. Well, I don't know. That was just my rant about the current state of the game, I guess. But hey, I will still gonna play this game. The build so far is doing really, really good. I can't complain about anything. The damage feels really nice with the Trinity support. It's very easy to stack up, and I'm playing with Herald of Ash at the moment, as you probably would have seen on the maps with the Herald of Ash explosions. And like I said in another video, the Transcendence Herald of Ash is like the best Herald of Ash explosion out there. But yeah, because I won't can't fit Anger in it. For Anger, I would have to scale more reduced mana modifiers. And I didn't want to invest in this because it works with Herald of Ash as well at the moment. Anger would be a little bit more damage, but hey, that's totally fine. Herald of Ash works as well. So I just said, okay, I will go with Acuity and Heartseeker and Fatal Blade instead of mana multipliers or mana reservations, because I don't have the Transcendence Jewel yet. I could board it now already, but I don't want to spend that much chaos at the moment for any upgrade, because the builds just don't need any upgrade at the current state. Yeah, so I just only invested in skill tree points, and I grabbed this large cluster for like, I don't know, 30 chaos. I didn't go with Feed the Fury. I decided to go with Drive to Destruction because this is way cheaper and gives me the leech anyway for the life leech. I grabbed my Natural Affinity already, and I crafted my medium cluster, because in the early game I want to play with a medium cluster with eye to eye and repeater. They're about 40 chaos. It's not that expensive, but yeah, okay, with the current exalted prices, they are expensive, and this is because of all those Spectral Shield Throw players out there. And yeah. By the way, and if you want to make some profits, probably, what I have done to get like 1 Exalt and 30 Chaos, I don't know, I already invested like 2.5 Exalts for 6 Link and for clusters and other stuff. I bought for leveling 2 Prismatic Eclipse, made them all green after I was done with the acts, and corrupt them. I got one with Fortify on melee hit that I sold for like, I don't know, 40 chaos to a Berserker. And the other one got Resolute Techniques. And Resolute Techniques Prismatic Eclipse is the best one for Spectral Shield Throw. And I sold this to a guild member for 1 Exalted. I would have given him for free because he's just a guild member, so I don't care about any money from him. But he paid me, he gave me 1 Exalt, and yeah. This was just, it was okay. It was fine. And by the way, that's what I mean with Arcanist Brand and Wrath of Conviction. I could have showed you earlier, by the way. This is the other way to trigger your cast when damage taken setup, or one cast when damage taken setup. Because Arcanist Brand only costs 18 mana. It's the best trigger out there for curse on hit and stuff like that. So if you want to deal any on hit effects on your enemies. Because if you don't know, by the way, it's just for those people who don't know, Arcanist Brand is the best trigger effect in the game. Okay? By far one of the best triggers out there. And most people forget it. It's very good for doing curses on hit and Wave of Conviction. So, and other stuff. What Arcanist Brand does is you cast this brand over here or there. As you can see, we can have like 4 brands, I don't know. And it will cast, if it attaches to the enemy, it will cast the spells linked to it. So this means this will now cast our Wave of Conviction. And yeah, this is just the best way to trigger your cast your Wave of Conviction in a mob pack. You will cast your Arcanist Brand, you will leave Slam into the mob pack and clear it. Cast Arcanist Brand. Yeah. And you will have your Wave of Conviction will chain through the mob pack. Or your Elemental Curse or something else. Like whatever spell you want to trigger with it. Okay? Arcanist Brand is the best trigger at the current state of the game. And since we have we don't play with Empower, maybe Arcanist Brand will be the way how we want to trigger spells like Hydrosphere and other stuff. Or just go with life tap support and cast with damage taken, okay? I don't know. I will have to test it more out or just find a way how I want to deal with the cast with damage taken setup. I have a cast with damage taken setup with Immortal Call because I don't reserve my full mana at the moment or that much mana. It will change when I'm gonna reserve Anger for Herald of Ash because I want the 50% crit multiplier from the Watcher's Eye. What you also can do is we're gonna play with Steel Skin instead of Immortal Call. But it's just not that great because we're gonna use our endurance charges, but hey. And we put it on our movement mouse key. Because then we can just walk around and trigger our Steel Skin anytime. Hey, it's just better than the fucking cast with damage taken setup that drains like 100 mana, right? So we're gonna take what we're gonna get, right? It's not the best, but hey, let's see. Well, another long video about ranting and thoughts and about nothing special content, I'm sorry. I hope you're still enjoying this league. I have some plans what I want to do. There's like one build that I want to chase and that I really want to play and try it out. And I will show you when it's ready, or maybe show you the leveling process and my build ideas when I'm gonna start the build. But at the current moment, Path of Exile is in a really, really bad state for the casual players out there. So I don't know how they want to change it because the numbers are total trash. I don't know how Tencent will say, hey, then those numbers are way too less. And this is gonna be a problem. So, yeah. Let's see, guys. And hope for the best. I wish you very good loot. And all good things in PoE. Well, I hope at least you enjoy the league and have some fun. I mean, it's not bad. It's okay. I'm still fine playing Path of Exile because I like the game and I have to get used to all those changes, and it's just ranting me because I'm just need to getting used to those changes. But I think they just overdid it for one league. Like last league when they nerfed so many skills. It already felt bad, but hey, it was okay. Was still fine. Damaging nerf is really good. Or just doesn't matter at all because we're still gonna have tons of damage for most of the builds. Mana multipliers changes was bad. Just like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know where Path of Exile are gonna be in like the next league. But yeah. Hope they're gonna change some things. Well. See you next time, guys.